A lot of admiration for this man. His name is Krishnamurti. He passed away in the 80s. He lived for 90-something years. I can't remember, 90-something years. And he meant a lot to me because I had, read a lot of books and studied a lot of religions, and I just an observer, because I was born into a cult, and in that cult I was controlled to believe one way, and so I wanted to observe other point of views out there. And I do have a lot of admiration for the Taoists and Buddhism, and I really like the Toltec. These are like my favorite. And actually, I did talk about that briefly in my book about it. The reasons why I really appreciate those philosophies are because there's a lot about free thought. It's not about how to follow to become, a certain person, like, oh, this is our leader and now we're going to follow this leader, but it's more open into finding yourself. And so that's why I appreciate that. Now I'm talking about Krishnamurti. I started reading him a few years ago, and I can't say, I don't believe in attaching to any leader or organization. I remember there's a quote, I don't know who wrote it, but it was something like, if you find the Buddha, kill him, or something like that. And I think the message is basically, stop being attached to anybody. There's a message they have out there, and it's really up to you to find it within yourself. And that's what my book is about. I'm sharing my intimate stories of what I suffered, I struggled, and then what I did that helped me. But it's not for me to tell somebody else to do it, because everybody has to find their own path. Okay? So I really had a lot of appreciations for Krishnamurti, because he was also, he was like Buddha. It was like thousands of years ago, where to him he was, more at our time frame. And so if there's anything that he says, it's actually something that we can learn now, and not like, long time ago. So I think that's the reason why that I have a lot of appreciation, but still not to be hold on as if he's a guru or whatever. He has a message, and it's really up to me what I'm going to learn from this. All right, so one of the things that I really appreciate about him is he refused to believe or control into any thought of any organization at all. What was interesting was he was actually prepared or raised to be this leader. They found him. He says, okay, he's going to be the Messiah, and they set him up as this, this great leader, and so they trained him. They took him he's from India, went to England, took him to college, tried to train him to become this person. And by the time he was, I think he was 25, he supposedly he was enlightened around in his 20s. And then when he was 25, he was the leader, and he basically said, this is not for me. And he said, truth is a pathless land. And if you really want to watch or read the whole script of what he had said, I highly recommend it. I think it was really, really beautiful. But the part that I remember that I can share is, truth is a pathless land, and no one can give it to you. It's something you have to find yourself. And so he actually just says, close it up. He says, I'm going to close this, and I know there's other people who are going to find new organizations and find new groups to find their meanings. But that's not going to help them find the answers, because the real answers is within yourself. It's within ourselves. So at a young age, he did that. And I think that I really have a lot of respect for that, because there are so many leaders out there who, even to this day, here, I'll give you an autograph, and now read my book because I'm really so great. I'm so great, and I have all the answers. And I think that's absolutely crazy. I'm going to admit that I don't have the answers. I had clues that helped me, but it doesn't matter what the clues are. It's within yourself that each person has to find themselves. They have to get to know their inner self, their deep, psyche, or their, themselves, of what it makes us do what we do. Be free, clear the thoughts, and so forth. So so there's people all the time, who will sign and they're just like amazing. Oh, I love this person. Oh, I love this person. So they have this new guru or leader, but it's really missing the whole message that to really be free, we have to really find ourselves and get to know ourselves to be free. And later on, if we really have a chance to do that, then we can go further to actually be a part of the wholeness of humanity. But first, before even that, we have to go within ourselves. And if we're angry at people and we want to kill people and we want to start wars and thinking it's okay to go kill that religion because it's worse than this religion, or thinking that this race it needs to go because this race is better or something, if any of that kind of stuff, it has to be cleared first. We have to work through our stuff and realize that we are all connected and each person is equal and loved, and also need to find their inner self and find out who they are, regardless of race, regardless of religion, regardless of what their background is. Each one of us, and we have to learn to love one another, even though we have our differences. I think that's what Buddha was talking about, and Krishnamurti had talked about it, and I mean there's lists and lists and lists and lists of it. Many other people who had said the same thing, and I agree with it. No, I'm not enlightened. I'm not trying to talk like I'm enlightened in any way. I'm not, but this is something that I strongly believe in, and to really work through our own stuff means it's an internal story. It's an internal journey within ourselves, loving and forgiveness and being who we are and being okay the way we are, and then also treating someone else the same way, loving and forgiving just the way they are as well. It's not an easy thing to do, especially with some of the crazy, things that's going on in this world. You look at some of this stuff, whoo, that's a hard thing to forgive, but it's just as part of it because humanity is a whole of this. Actually, there's something that I do want to talk about a next video. It is a little more unique, and it's something, maybe I'm off-centered, or maybe you might feel like that's exactly how I feel. You might, I don't know. But I'm going to watch put another video up soon, and this one is going to be talking more about the wholeness, about how we are all connected, and realizing that this world that we see, we say, okay, well, if we just get rid of all this religion, then the problem will be gone. Or if we just, get rid of that race, then the problem. But that's not what's going to change. The change is that we have to learn to love and forgive all, and work together as a whole. And that's what I'm going to talk about next time. Anyways, where did I start off? I first starting about Krishnamurti. Yeah, he was an impact in my life for sure. Because he never, people would say like, well, who are you? And he does, it doesn't matter who I am. It doesn't matter. It's really about what you're going to do for yourself to really work through what we have. It's not about, oh, well, what kind of a person are you that I can, adore or whatever. It's really about, learning what we can learn from it, and really getting to know ourselves, and to be free, so we can, be a free person, be free to think, be free to love, free without judgment, and so forth. Anyways, I hope you have a great day. Happy Friday. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon.